My name is Echo Fan Grey Wolf. My government name is James Williams Jr. That's what's written on these dog tags. Way back in 2010, I signed an oath to protect this world. And that's what these dog tags mean. In case you want to know why I put these on for tonight, I put them on to bring up the insurrection. A year ago this happened. And I'm a little upset because one of the people who got shot and killed was a fellow veteran. She fucking knew better. Alright? When you take that oath to protect and serve the Constitution, to serve this country, you also take the oath to fight against foreign and domestic terrorists. And somewhere along the line, she forgot that and became the thing we fight against. No disrespect to her family. No disrespect to her. But there comes a time when you have to be responsible for your own actions. You have to be responsible for the shit that flies out your mouth. I take responsibility for the shit that flies out my mouth every day. You guys know I cuss like a sailor. And I'm not a sailor. Salute your Navy. I wasn't in the Navy. Salute your Marines. I wasn't a Marine. Salute your Marines. I wasn't an airman. That's for Space Force. Salute your airmen. I was an Army National Guard soldier who got messed up in BC and never got to serve the way I wanted to serve. I'm still legally a vet. I've probably done more for vets out of the Army than I have in the Army because I'm always donating shit. And if someone asks me for something and I give it to them and they say, how can we pay you back? I tell them, donate that shit to the Army. I am a member of the American Legion. They have these. Donate to the American Legion. No. So, American Legion did a book like that on Native Sioux. So as a person who's part Native, part black, and part white, I do not have the right to be a racist. I want to talk about the insurrection, assault, and attack because I'm a vet. And like me, many other vets have touched on this on TikTok, on Instagram. I'm only going to touch on it on YouTube. There are some things I would rather only share on YouTube versus TikTok and Instagram. Granted, my following is bigger on both of those platforms, and my voice is rarely heard here. But this is more important because this is where I started, outside of Facebook. Veterans. Not just me. All veterans. We know the one hardcore truth. We didn't just sign on to serve and protect Old Glory. Though we will catch a bullet for that bitch. We didn't sign on just for that. I signed on because I needed a job. I was one step away from putting my foot in the grave and unaliving myself. You can't say the Army saved my life. Granted, I didn't want to get infantry because that's like the worst job you can get. Why is it the worst job you can get? Because down in Fort Benning, Georgia, the only thing they ever told me was, one shot, one kill. And you will do that. You will kill. That is your job, Williams. You might not like it, but that's your fucking job. Should have brushed up on your math skills, son. That's your job, Father Time. That's your job, old Dick. You will have to kill people. I often question myself every night. Can I pull that trigger? Well, two things we learned. We learned that I can pull the trigger, but we also learned that I can't shoot worth shit. That's not a joke. I.e., part of my honorable discharge. As a vet, and as a person who comes from a family of servicemen, I got uncles on both sides. My father's side served in the Army. My mother's side served in the Army and the Navy. And my mom once dated a Marine. So I got a pretty good, and one of my friends is an Air Force, or he's an Air Force retiree rather. How you doing, Charles? Much love, brother. I miss you. Haven't been able to catch up with you, but we still family, bro. You reach out to me, let me know. Facebook's still a thing. Anyway, I'm leaving his name off for his protection and all the other shit. I'm pretty sure he doesn't watch my YouTube channel anyway. But, you know, I've met a lot of vets. I wouldn't even have started my reconnecting journey if it wasn't for a vet at McGuire that told me, you know, you need to get all this Native American stuff done. I kept telling him, dude, I'm not a full-blooded Native. He said, I don't give a fuck. You need to get your shit done so you can get your shit. I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck that means. But I do know when I took that oath and when I walk around with this warrior ethos card, and when I carry, not that one, when I carry this Aang the Avatar card around, and I beg for a military discount that I can't get because most stores don't do it, because I guess we vets aren't really worthy of that shit unless we're eating bullets. And some people can't afford it, I get it. But at that same time, you know, it takes a strong person to sign their name on that dotted line and take that oath of service. I swear to protect the Constitution and the people of the United States of America from foreign and domestic terrorists. The insurrection was a straight case of domestic terrorists. It makes me angry as fuck that people who took that oath that I took were part of that shit. It makes me angry as fuck. Yeah. I didn't take this oath by myself. Thousands of people take this oath daily. Because the military can change your life. Most of the time it's for the better. And of course, in infantry, they always tell me the military will change your life if you survive long enough to get your rewards. That's an infantry joke. If you're not infantry or 11 Bravo, you might not have heard that yet. And if you have heard that, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. 11 Bravo. Salute your fucking infantry. We did not take this oath lightly. We did not take this oath to stab our fellow Americans in the back. When I was in the military, I believe Obama was still in charge. When I got out of the military, Obama was still in charge. When Trump happened, I still believed in my oath. But not to that racist asshat, but to this country, to these people, to that flag, to that piece of paper that gave me the right to join the military. The insurrection, that's what you want to call it, the stabbing in the back of our country, whatever you want to call it. You know, that shit's not a fucking joke. It's not a tourist attraction. There are many people in the world who don't even have rights that we have as Americans. And people are always saying, if you don't like America, pack your shit and move out. As much as that would be a great thing for me, there's just one problem. I mentioned that I'm part Native, part black, and part white. My roots are right smack dead here in America. I ain't leaving this fucking country outside of a body bag, or if I marry my crush Zeta Zhang, and she decides to move. Because then wherever she go, I'll go. Because that's what husbands do. We'll pray that happens. But the most important thing is that when you take an oath to serve and protect this country from foreign and domestic terrorists, you do that. And it doesn't matter what your fucking political affiliation is. It doesn't matter if you're the racist down the street or if you're the saint up the block. If you're that church-going swine that's secretly molesting children. My job is to die for you. Because that's what infantry does. Airmen flies, infantry, whether they're Marines or they're Army, we die for you. We don't get the respect we deserve. Not from everybody. Some people just hate military people. Mind you, those are people who probably don't have any family members in the military or have money and decide, hey, fuck it. I signed the thing, the registration, but I don't have to go, which is true. You do have to register by the time you're 18 if you are a male in this country. You do not have to go. There are plenty of people like me who need to go. There are plenty of people like me who are willing to go for a better life because you have no idea how someone's life is. You learn a lot when you join the military. You learn a lot. You learn that for the most part, we only have one color, green. Unless you're Navy, then it's blue. But for Army, Marines, and Air Force, I'm pretty sure it's still green. Until you have to put your dress blues on. But for the most part, it's green. We know your ethnicity. We see that you're a black man, a white man, a Native American man, an Asian man. We see that. But we all know that man right there, Asian, will take a bullet for this mixed man right here. This mixed man right here will take a bullet for that redneck down there. As much as I can't stand his ideology, we are brothers. And we will die for each other because that's what we do. I've never been deployed, but I got all the training. I got lots of brothers out there right now. They came through Fort Benning, Georgia with me, and they are doing fine, to my knowledge. My boys, Fusco and Lowe, they're two of my best fucking friends. They were in the Army way longer than me, and they deserve better than what they got. Paperwork, other bullshit got them a little screwy. Still love them, though. They love me. And I know for a fact Fusco and Lowe would take a bullet for my ass. And I will do the same for them. I'm older than them, so if I die, it's not going to matter. They're still young. They were young when I went in. I was old when I went in. I was 37. I know I'm deviating. But I'm making a point with this deviation. Anyone who served, it was in that insurrection. Metaphorically, or legally, depending on what the courts decide, and especially if you're active duty, that's just a form of treason, dude. Some shit you can't ever do. Now, vets get a lot of hard times. Vets get misjudged a lot. And those same vets that you misjudge and give a hard time to, who have done nothing wrong, will be that same vet that will catch a bullet from you in a hostage situation. They'll catch a bullet for you if you're the hostage. Remember that when you're honoring the people who stabbed your fucking country in the back because they wanted to make America great again. America's never been great. America's got a long way to go to get great. We got to get rid of racism first. Until we get rid of that shit, we're never going to be great. When you look at me, what do you see? Do you see a vet? Do you see a scrawny guy who jumps in a Spider-Man suit to keep himself from unaliving himself? Or you just see a nobody? I wear them dog tags because I earned those motherfuckers. Whether I got deployed or not is not a concept. I got a hip replacement. Here's my scar. It's service connected. Somebody dropped the ball at Benning. This one needs to be replaced. I've been taking progressive measures to keep that from happening before I'm 60 so I can get full benefits. I got a little over 10 years to go. I'm in no hurry. I like being able to do Kung Fu. I don't like the pain and suffering. And there's a lot of families who ain't got their loved ones because of this insurrection. And I'm not talking about the people that got shot on the bad guy side. I'm talking about police officers that died doing their fucking job. Because guess what? Some of them are veterans. Some of them took 2 oaths. One to serve and protect us, and one to serve and protect that constitutional right that we all have. But I'm pretty sure everybody who's all about let's make America great again didn't think, did you sign up? Because I know most of my uncles signed up. I got family members and cousins that are amputees and shot and shit. Again, did you sign up? Or did you just sign the registration card so that they know you don't have to pay that $10,000 fine or do jail time, because that's part of the American way. When you turn 18, you have to register as a United States serviceman without joining the service. You're just registering. Which means if the draft happens, which they outlawed, you can be called to duty. 47 now, I aged out. Now, I'm in decent shape. I ain't never been in good shape until I joined the Army. But I will tell you this. There's a lot of things we can do to make this country better. It's high time we get our heads out of our asses and start doing it. Instead of just sitting there talking shit, start doing shit. Now, I got a lot of fights going on right now in my head. I got a lot of fights going on in my life. Fighting to prove my nativeness. fighting to find health insurance that I can afford so that I can probably stop going to military hospitals because that's the only place I can go because I have no fucking money. Fighting for my acting dream to finally come to fruition after 21 years of failing. Fighting for my book to be published. Got a lot going on. But I ain't forgot January 6th. But you know what else I didn't forget? I didn't forget August in my town. This town. Charlottesville, Virginia. I didn't forget Heather Heyer dying for the people's rights of color. Dying over a piece of ceramic that some jackass thought it would be cool to be a martyr and plow through some people, injuring hundreds, killing one. That was domestic terrorist at its best. Mr. Fields, a young man who threw his damn life away because he wanted to make America great, because he wanted to be a white supremacist, narcissist dickhole. And now he will spend the rest of his life behind bars. Instead of he could have lived out his life. I would kill to have his youth right now. I would kill to be the age he is right now. I'm a Generation Xer. We don't go back in time. We only can go forward. But I can tell you right now, he's got a lot of time to think of his actions in the life that he could have had, but he was throwing it away to be a martyr for a cause of crap. You want to make America great again? Get to know people who they are. Talk to your people of color. Talk to your people of non-color. Become friends with white people. Become friends with black people. Become friends with Asian people. Become friends with natives. Learn their fucking issues. And then as a people, as a collective, as the way it's supposed to be, vote the bad guys out. Vote for the people that's going to look out for your best interests, physically and mentally, not so much financially. Most of the reason why this country's fucked up is because nobody's equal, regardless of what the Constitution says of us all being created equal under the eyes of God. Because that shit went out the window day one. Just think about all the treaties that have been broken with natives. Think about all the bloodshed. And then you carry your ass back to the insurrection and ask yourself, what the fuck happened? You got a guy with horns thinking he's Thor. Newsflash, big guy. Thor had wings, not horns. And if you go by real pagan legend, I don't even think Thor had a fucking hammer. I mean, not a hammer, a helmet. I know he had a hammer, but not a helmet. And his hammer looks nothing like the Marvel verse. But if you want to think about making America great again, country formed on practicing your own religions, country formed on slavery, brutality, rape, murder, forced sterilization. You go back to that insurrection, and you got guys in Pelosi's office, got their feet all up on the desk, flicking pencils and shit. You got guys going around attacking their fellow Americans, screaming, "Stop the steal, stop the steal." A veteran died that day. I do not remember her name, but she was shot by one of the cops there. Just seen a dude on Dr. Phil today or one of them talk shows. He was a curly-haired mixed guy like me. Talking about he was only there filming, but he was right up in there and filmed the girl getting shot. But they're charging him. Sorry, fella. I got no sympathy for you. Y'all might not like that I said that. And if you don't like that I said that, I got no fucks to give you. Because I'm giving them all to those guys at the insurrection. Which is legally now over since my midnight clock just went off. But as I finish this out, I want you guys to think about one thing. One thing. This shit didn't have to happen. You know, you would think that a bunch of grown-ass adults would have found a better way to talk to each other. Instead of just saying, fuck it, let's burn the place to the goddamn ground. That's pretty much what they did. And yeah, I can hear the Nickelback song playing in my head. We're going, excuse me. Sorry, Chad. We're going out tonight. We're kicking in all the lights. Take anything you want. Break everything in sight. We're going to the world stops, turn until we burn it to the ground tonight. That's pretty much what they were doing. That's in no way a reflection on Chad Kroeger, by the way. He's Canadian. So our issues don't really affect him directly. But it was a good song. But just think about why this happened. Because no one wanted to talk. People got a raw hair up their ass and decided, hey, let's go on down there and stop this steal. So I'm going to make a small statement. This only reflects me. When Hillary lost, there was no rioting in the streets. I voted for Hillary twice. I voted for her when she ran against Obama. I voted for her when she ran against Trump. I lost twice. And most of the people that was in the Democratic Party when they lost, they took their ball and went home. Tried to work with the other side to be bipartisan so that everybody can get along. Be straight. But the other side, when they lost, they decided, hey, fuck it. Let's burn this bitch down. Now let me tell you how I really feel. The lesser of two evils is a thing. I voted for Biden because I couldn't get Elizabeth Warren. I couldn't get, damn it, I can't remember his name, the Chinese guy. I couldn't get him in. And I couldn't get the gay guy in. Those was my top three picks. And I mean no disrespect to Biden, but those were the three people that I was voting for. But all of a sudden, they conceded. Once they conceded, all I had was Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders. I don't have nothing against Bernie. And Elizabeth Warren is 4% Native American. I know that me being part Native, she got my vote. For the simple fact, maybe we can send her enough letters to do more things for Natives. My culture that I'm struggling to get back into. But she conceded. My vote automatically went to Biden because there was no way in hell I was going to vote for a man who wanted to see 15-year-old black kids hung for a rape that they didn't commit. I wasn't going to vote for a man who didn't want Native Americans to have casinos to help the economy for their reservations grow. But me and Trump's problems go further back than that. But that's just me and Trump. That's not me and all of his supporters and all the other things, because everybody has their ideologies. It is not my job to change your ideologies. It's my job to learn and understand why you feel that way. And if you can teach me one good reason, then I'm going to listen. And now you see what the problem was. Nobody wanted to listen. Everybody just wanted to throw Molotov cocktails and burn the shit to the ground without even talking. Damn the innocent lives inside. People had the right to vote. That's how this country works. But apparently, our rights to vote didn't mean shit. Same thing with abortion laws. I support abortion. Except in the case of it being used as birth control. If a young woman is raped, she should not have to carry her rapist baby. You don't have to agree with that shit. And that's fine. And as they say, you know, most people will disagree with you until it hits home. Say I'm wrong. Most people, one more time, so I can end this video. Most people will disagree with you. They will smack you in the face. They will spit in your face. They will punch you in your eye. Until something that you stand for happens to somebody that they know. Virginia is living proof of that. As I end this video. We once had a speeding law. That if you were from any state but Virginia, you could gun through this damn town on 64. And all Virginians had to pay for it. All Virginians. Mind my words, what I said now. All Virginians had to pay for it. So if you're from New York and you're going from New York to Florida and you decide to run down I-95 or 64 or 241 or whichever one is the four-way lane, whichever one of them, did you decide to gun your engines and run down that shit, when the state troopers pull you over, you could pay whatever the actual fine was. Like, without a problem. Guess who had to cover the check? Everyone who was a resident of Virginia had to cover that check. And here's where you get kicked in the ass if you lived in Virginia. If you did that same shit on 64, not only would you get charged double for the ticket, double for the fine, you gotta pay that shit with a limited amount of time to get the money. Gets better. Because the assholes who wrote that bill, their kids were the ones getting caught all the fucking time. Normal people, we got the message. We got that fucking message. You want us to do 60 on 64? We're going to do 60 on 64. We didn't go past the 65 mile an hour thing. Now you can do 70 on there, and if you think that we don't run 70, 75, we do. But we damn sure don't run 80 because we remember that goddamn bill. And that bill got passed. I signed that petition twice to make sure that that bill got nullified because it wasn't fair. And that bill eventually got nullified because the people who wrote that bill, which proves my point, the people who wrote that bill, all those Congress people and everything who go from Richmond to fucking D.C. and back, and then if they go on vacation, they still got to run through Virginia, their kids were the ones getting all the fucking tickets. Those parents were shelling out like almost $2 or $3 grand for like 4 months. That shit eat your wallet up. Which goes back to what I said. You and I won't agree on a damn thing until it hits you at home. That's where that abortion shit goes in. Most people be like, well, I don't think that this woman should have an abortion even though she was raped. Would you say that if that was your 10-year-old daughter? Nah, you'd be the first motherfucker jumping on we got to get rid of this shit. My 10-year-old daughter didn't walk down the street and ask to get body slammed by somebody. And now she's pregnant. No. 10-year-olds ain't going to put up much of a fight against a grown adult. Unless it's an extraordinary teenager or a 10-year-old. Unless she's Franklin fucking Richards from the Fantastic Four, she's going to be a victim. And this brings us back to the final part of this video about that insurrection. We don't have to see eye to eye. We really don't. But we do need to hear what the other one is saying. And if we're not willing to do that, that's exactly why that shit happened. That being said, I'm Echo Fan Grey Wolf. If you don't like this video, you can leave me a comment. I'll try to answer it. You might not like it, but I'll try to answer it. But I'll answer it with the video. I will probably type a response, but I'll probably answer it with a video. But that being said, I'm Echo Fan Grey Wolf. Enjoy your night. Happy fucking New Year. Be seeing ya. Ah, crap.